Yep, there's a football game tonight. No, I'm not going to focus on it. I want to focus on the rookies today. So just quickly to hit the game. Yes, there's still a left tackle competition. I don't think that's going to be solved tonight. I think that's going to go into the season. You'll probably see Braxton start week 1. I think you could see someone start week 2, maybe Karan, maybe Ozzy, and I think you could see someone else start week 3. I think you're going to have a competition going into the season that may not be resolved until the bye week, which is early on, obviously week 5. So I think we got some things to watch there. All the starters will be starting. How long they'll play, I don't know. I'm not going to try to speculate on any of that, but I do want to hit updated rookie projections. So we know we had our rookie draft class, very exciting rookie draft class. We've seen a little bit of work, a lot from camp, a lot from OTAs, a lot as they've gotten back and gone through the entire process of installing the installs. Now through 2 preseason games, which most of them only played one game or the other, those that are projected to make the roster. So we're going to jump into where I see our draft picks as well as the top undrafted free agents fitting into this team, their projections, how they should do, and where I see them as a part of this team moving forward into the year. So let's jump into it. Bear down, sports making Chicago proud. All right, so right off the bat, we're going to hit Colston Lovelin, our first-round pick, 10th overall. Obviously, surprised some people, but once the pick was made, it made sense. I'm going to actually just pull me off screen. Made sense with where Ben Johnson's going with this offense. And then as you've seen him, the injury is gone. I mean, there's no concerns right now. I don't think anybody has a concern over Colston Lovelin and the injury he had from last year. So far, this preseason, 86.9 offensive grade, tops on the Bears. 67.5 run blocking grade, 70.7 pass blocking grade. So he's been asked to block defensive ends on the end there like he's a tackle and also receive the ball like he's a receiver, and he is absolutely shining on both ends of it. A lot of people thought he couldn't be a blocking tight end. So far, his blocking is above average. I'm not going to say he's the most elite, but he gets the job done, and that's all that matters. 3 receptions, 4 targets. My prediction for him, he's everything the Bears hoped for when drafting him at 10. Clean routes, blocks well, gets open. He's tight end 1 on this team, in my opinion. Production from day 1 will be tight end 1 production. I also think Cole Kmet's going to be right there with him. This isn't going to be like, oh, one's really good and one stinks. It's going to be a situation. I don't know. Sorry, guys. I gotta bring me on board here. Just the way I am. I'll make me small. I think he'll have between 600 and 800 yards. I think Cole Kmet will have somewhere around the 500 to 600 yard range, but it's going to be a fun combo. You already saw that last game on that first drive of the 5-6 catches. I think it was 5 catch. Either way, 3 of those were to tight ends, and then obviously Alameda Zacchaeus with the big touchdown to cap that off. We'll see what happens tonight, but it's going to be a lot of fun to watch Colston Lovelin through the year. Second round, 39th overall, we had Luther Burden. First round grade, many had him as the first overall. Actually, one outlet had him as the first overall pick. Many had him as a top 5 pick after the 2023 season. Missouri, with the change in their offense, changing their scheme, changing the way they played football, basically, and using him less. Luther Burden wasn't going anywhere. They've called him the offspring of Rome Odunze and DJ Moore, hypothetically, and as a joke that he's a good combination of both. But if they had a baby, that would be Luther Burden. 78.8 offensive grade, again, among the tops in the Bears this preseason so far. 88.5 run blocking grade. Really, that's just off the one block. If you didn't see the highlight, go look it up, where he cracks in on the run by... Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if it was Hankins. I don't remember who the running back was, but for the touchdown there, and he cracked him and flexing it. Yes, did a great block. So pass blocking grade's okay as well. 5 receptions on 6 targets, looking like the steal of the draft at wide receiver. I think right now he's in line to be better than at least all but 2 wide receivers in the first round. Definitely better than Matthew Golden, which is all that matters because the Packers suck eternally. FGB. I think he starts at wide receiver 4 just because the Bears are so overloaded at wide receiver, but he quickly will adjust, and he'll be around the bye week. He'll be wide receiver 3 and overcome Alameda Zacchaeus. I think it's a great combination to have those 4 receivers, though, along with Cole Kmet, Colston Lovelin. That's going to be awesome. I think he's going to have between 600 to 700 yards on the season, which I think is very solid for a rookie wide receiver that's your wide receiver 3/wide receiver 4. All right, 56th overall, Ozzy Trapillo. This is one some Bears fans are a little disappointed with. This is exactly what I said when the draft happened. This is how it would play out. 62.4 offensive grade, 57.6 run blocking grade, 62.8 pass blocking grade, 76 total snaps, only 2 total pressures. So that's good. Not quite up to NFL level yet. Not quite. So he's your typical second round offensive tackle. Fans clamored for him to be an instant starter. See the play on words there. So instant starter. I said it doesn't do him any disservice if he gets to sit and come in as a swing tackle and not have to be rushed in and be the starter left tackle from day one. Braxton Jones has the experience, and he was playing some of his best ball before he got injured. Now, his best ball for sure, some of the best in the entire league. So I think Ozzie will start the year as the swing tackle, earning reps at left tackle, right tackle. Should log around 400 to 500 snaps, depending on how many injuries happen, depending on what happens throughout the games and how that goes. They'll probably give him a start somewhere in the first 4 games just to see what he's got. But I think he is the swing tackle for this year. When Braxton Jones can't be re-signed, we can't afford it. We let him walk for a comp pick. When that happens, he has an opportunity to compete next year for the starting left tackle job, and I think he'll earn that. But I don't see the reason why we have to rush him in to be the starting left tackle year one. When tackles, guards, even Joe Thuney, if you look at his Hall of Fame career, those first 2 seasons took a little bit of developing. Now he's, above average those first 2 seasons, but then he's Hall of Fame worthy every other season. But there was a clear jump up from year 3 on for Joe Thuney. All right, our third second-round pick, 62nd overall, Shemar Turner. No snaps or stats so far. His ankle injury kind of hindered him so far, but it's not the worst thing in the world. You've got him sitting behind Grady Jarrett, Gervon Dexter, Andrew Billings. That's going to limit his snaps anyways. I think he's going to rotate with those guys. I think the Bears will get him in to get him some snaps, but he's not someone you have to rush in because he's an all-pro superstar, he's a pro bowler. We'll see what he has in the snaps he gets, but I think he'll be a back-end rotational player that has high ceiling upside, but no reason to force it unless you start seeing some big plays. Unless you give him an opportunity or two, he gets a couple sacks in his first game or something happens, then you need to push him in there a little bit more. Let him rotate, let him develop, let him get some snaps. I have no problem with that. Even though he's a second rounder, we had 3 second rounders. He was back into the second round, which is right at the exact same area that Zach Pickens was. Zach Pickens, I think, is underwhelmed so far. I think Shemar Turner will get more production than Zach Pickens, probably a little less than Gervon Dexter, but I think he has so much high upside. You got to get him some reps so that you can see what he's got and continue to develop him, and he could definitely turn into a Gervon Dexter, or maybe he turns into a Zach Pickens, or maybe somewhere right in between. But I'm okay with that, and I think that's what he'll be, defensive tackle 4-ish on this team. He'll definitely make the 53-man roster. All right, 4th-round pick, 132 overall, Ruben Hippolyte II. So far, a little underwhelming, but some good plays, especially when it comes to the run game. I'm very impressed when he's in on 3rd down, goal line, and I think that's what he'll be used as. So 52.8 overall grade, which is way below average. You don't like to see that, but 69.6 run defensive grade, and where he struggled is his coverage grades. But the Bears, with his lightning quick speed and his ability to pop, that's why they drafted him, is to help on the rundowns. I've said that during the draft coverage. I've said that since then. That's what he's going to be. He's going to be a special team player, be your linebacker 4/5, and he should get some reps on the run stopping downs, on 3rd down, on goal line. He should get some snaps there. So he's shown enough pop. I'm excited about him. See what he can do on special teams, but I also think he'll get some reps on the running downs, and they'll continue to develop him. Linebackers take some time to develop. They usually are a more developmental position. Some guys come in right off the bat, and that's great when you get it, but you don't expect that from a 4th rounder, and I think Ruben Hippolyte's going to be just fine. He'll definitely make the 53-man roster. We'll see what he can do as he gets into the season, but don't have too high of expectations on him. All right, 169th overall, Zay Frasier. This one's probably the most defluttering, kerbuffling. I'm making up words now, but he hasn't been present with the team since rookie minicamp. Now, it's been reported just this last Wednesday, so 2 days ago, maybe Tuesday, a couple different reports that he's at House Hall. Those who don't remember, he was excused by the team, so it was a notated leave. He was leaving, but rumors circulated that he was possibly retiring, that he didn't even want to play football. That's not a good thing when you've drafted a kid. It's a late-round pick. I get it. It's 3rd-round pick. To me, this is Ryan Poles' really only miss so far, and I don't think he makes the 53-man roster. Too little, too late for him. He's not going to play in the game tonight. How can you keep someone when they haven't played the game, and you have Trey Flowers and Wright and a couple cornerbacks that are, Josh Blackwell, that's more at the slot, at the nickel. But when these guys are competing, even though you've lost Terrell Smith for the season, I don't see how we can keep Zay Frasier with him not being present. The best ability is availability, and as a rookie, I think he gets cut and signed to the practice squad if we want to keep him, but I don't think with this competitive roster he can make the 53-man roster. So he's my first bust of the year here for the Bears. Luke Newman, I'm very happy with. As a sixth rounder, you don't always expect these guys to pan out. In fact, you cut sixth rounders all the time, and it happens. But 56 offensive grade, PFF, 53.9 run blocking grade, 73.9 pass blocking grade, and that's what showed up when you watch tape. 106 total snaps, 1 total pressure this preseason. It's preseason, but guys, remember, this last game, he started at left guard with the first team. So with Joe Thuney getting the break, getting the rest, Luke Newman got the start. It wasn't Ryan Bates. It wasn't Bill Murray. It was Luke Newman. And I absolutely love how he played. There were a couple run snaps where he was a little out of position. He's a little clunky. He's not quite, he's not your Drew Dahlman. He's not going to get out there on the run plays as well, but there's room to develop for him. So, will he start? No, obviously not. Jonah Jackson, Joe Thuney, but he appears to be a solid option and one that they see as a forefront for backing up at guard. How he'll develop at center, I don't know. But at the beginning of camp, they said he was going to be a primary option at center, and they wanted him to get reps and snaps, not his primary role in college. So it's going to take some time for that. I think if they had to call at the beginning of the season for someone to come in, it's probably Ryan Bates. I know my tune hasn't been high on Ryan Bates, but he's played very well this preseason. So I think Ryan Bates would get the call if anything happened to Drew Dahlman. But I think Luke Newman's going to keep working on that by the end of the season. He could be the backup center as, Ryan Bates is gone this next year. He's someone you can develop, though. Sixth rounder with high upside. So far looked really good. 1 pressure on 106 total snaps. Now I think 60 of those were pass pro, so 1 out of 60 is still freaking amazing. I'm very happy with Luke Newman so far is the point. And I know he won't start, but if you're in a pinch, I'm excited to see him get reps, and I want to see what he can do. All right, one that everyone's excited about, 233rd overall, Kyle Manungi. So far this preseason, he only played in the first game, so hopefully he plays tonight. I want to see what he does. I've got him slotted in at RB2 right now, just with his shiftiness, with his broken tackle ability. That translates from Rutgers. In game 1, that looked really good. 5.0 yards per carry and 3.17 yards after contact. So more than half of his yards so far have been after contact, and his elusiveness is off the charts, 105. So his pass blocking, not good. Not good at all. I think he had 6 opportunities. 1 sack allowed, another pressure allowed, so 2 pressures on 6 opportunities. Not good. But he was good in college. He laid some licks in pass pro. So needs more reps. I wouldn't trust him right now to be in on pass pro with Caleb, needing to have confidence there. So you're going to see Roschon or you're going to see DeAndre Swift in those situations. Kyle Manungi is going to be a change of pace back, though, and I think he'll be RB2, and I think he'll rotate that with Roschon Johnson. I think he'll end up, and I'm being optimistic here, I think realistic, you should probably say 300-400 yards, but I'm giving the all-purpose yards, and I think they're going to use some gadget plays and some fun stuff with Ben Johnson's offense. I'm going to say between 500 and 600 yards, all-purpose yards here for Kyle Manungi. That's going to be my prediction. His broken tackles are going to be huge. I'm very high on Kyle Manungi, and I don't think the Bears are looking for another running back. Yes, we had an injury. I get that. So you bring in players that aren't even going to make the roster, but Kyle Manungi is definitely going to be an impact player this year. All right. 4 undrafted players that I think have a shot. Let's just take me off. To make the roster, number 1, Power Eccles. I think he is linebacker 5, and I think he's going to be a special team star. So far this offseason, he's looked really good. That is not correct offensive grade. I apologize as you look right here, 779.9 offensive grade. No, it should be 79.9 offensive grade for PFF. A defensive grade too, man. Let's just cover that up. Just take away my embarrassment. Cover that thing up. Don't look. 77 tackling grade. Everything else is right. 69.3 run defensive grade. 73.9 coverage grade. Equal. He's balanced across the board. He looks really good so far. I've really liked watching Power Eccles. I want to see him in there again when Tremaine Edmonds comes out to be middle linebacker and see what he can do against the Chiefs. I'm very excited for him and the upside there. Tyshim Johnson, I don't think makes the 53-man roster, but I think he's like literally the fringe player that will be the bubble. Him or somebody else will beat out Jonathan Owens. So far in one game, 63.9 defensive grade, 62.3 coverage grade, but nobody has thrown the ball to him because he has had such tight coverage. He's been on his guys. So there's been no one around. So I like Tyshim Johnson. There's just so many options there at safety. I don't know who's going to win that fourth safety job. I wouldn't mind it being Tyshim Johnson. I'm just going to predict right now practice squad, but if he makes the 53rd man on this roster, just say I told you so. I don't know. I like Tyshim Johnson. Ja'Day Walker, to me, it's either him or Maurice Alexander. One of the two of them is going to be wide receiver 6, in my opinion. So that's why I put wide receiver 6 / practice squad. 78.8 offensive grade, 78.1 receiving grade, 5 receptions on 7 targets, 61 yards on a touchdown. But he looks really good. I'm telling you, Ja'Day Walker, when you watch the tape on him, when you watch the games, watch him tonight. He looks really good. He's shifty. He gets open and he gets separation from the defender when he's out there. So 137.5 NFL passer rating when targeted, and that's a result of that. So I like Ja'Day Walker. Now, if he makes wide receiver 6, is he going to be a huge impact player in the season? No, he's going to be a Tyler Scott, really. He's not going to get many reps or opportunities. Might get a game day scratch because you only you sit 7 of the 63 roster that you have. So will he be in a huge impact? No, but I like him, and I think he's developing, and I like what he brings. So I really want to see Ja'Day Walker make this roster. All right, last, Luke Elkin, only 6 snaps in the preseason, but he's done very well so far. I just think with his connection to Tory Taylor, he's going to get signed over Scott Dowley. Scott Dowley on the last year of his contract, more expensive, getting old. He's an old man in his 30s. Luke Elkin coming straight out of Iowa. He played with Tory Taylor in Iowa, and so far he looks, what do you need to have a long snapper? Someone who can snap the ball and stand up and make sure that nobody gets to the kicker. So far he's done it in 6 snaps. So I'm happy with Luke Elkin. I have no issues with him being the long snapper. So these are the 4 undrafted free agents that I think have a shot to make the roster. Tell me if I missed one, though. Tell me if there's someone on this roster or on the undrafted free agents that you think I missed, that maybe I overlooked and I should pay more attention to, because those are the ones that I'm thinking of. So here's the updated rookie projections. I'm excited for the game tonight. No, I'm not going live for it. I will in the season. I'm going to be going live for stuff in the season. I'm going to be there at the game for week 1 in 2 weeks and 4 days from now, or whatever it is. I'm going to be there for that. So anybody got any good tailgates, put it down there. Anybody want to get excited for that, meet up or do stuff, I'm totally down. I'm going to be going to the Cubs games on Saturday and Sunday, Bears game on Monday, and it's going to be a blast. So I'm going to have a good time. Enjoy the game tonight, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you think I'm just way off on some of these guys, or I'm undervaluing or overvaluing, or if there's an undrafted free agent that you think should make this roster, let me know about it, because I do like your guys' opinion. I like going back and forth with you guys. It's a lot of fun. I do appreciate you guys. Until next time, hit that like button, subscribe. Dub Bears. Go Caleb. Bear down.
Bear down, sports making Chicago proud.